I'm just waiting. It ain't happening until it's happening. You know, It's like the opposite of what Yogi Berra used to say. It ain't over till it's over. Well, it ain't starting until it's starting.
Right, exactly. And, I'm wondering if this thing Neil Schon is going to do with his Neil Schon's Journey Through Time, if that's going to end up on the Classic East, Classic West bill. Like, I'm wondering if this is sort of... Because I'm seeing hints of that. I'm seeing hints of that.
But you know what? I would not bet on that unless Steve Perry is singing with them. Because that's even more watered-down Journey than the Journey he has now. Because the Journey he has now has 4 out of the 5 core members.
Right.
I mean, I won't call them original, but the members you want to see.
Right, but he does have Greg Raleigh in the band himself, and he's got Dean Castronovo on drums.
Yeah, but no offense. He's a great drummer.
Yeah.
Love him as a drummer, but a drummer that came into Journey well after the prime years.
Dean sings like Steve Perry.
Oh, my God. Frighteningly so.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Oh, I remember hearing him when we saw him with Jeff Scott Soto for that summer tour, which was a while ago.
Oh, my God. That's a million
But, yeah,
years ago.
I remember being floored at how good he was.
Absolutely. So,
I'm like, why? I mean, I know he's the drummer, but I'm like, why isn't this guy singing with the band? But I think he is the singer, and is he the singer and the drummer?
Yeah.
For Neil's new Journey band?
I think he's singing and drumming. Greg Raleigh is also going to sing and play keyboards.
Right.
Neil is going to play guitar. I forgot who they have on bass, but they have someone.
There's 3 other people they have in the band whose names escape me right now.
Right, yeah. But it is a solid unit, and it's not some sort of watered-down thing. And I have to also add the Skynyrd thing. I saw Skynyrd last summer, and this version of Skynyrd has been touring for many, many years. So, like, you have Gary Rossington in the band, you have Johnny Van Zant on vocals and stuff like that. And Ricky Medlock on guitar. Michael Carlone from Damn Yankees is on drums. So there's a lot of good musicians in that band, and Skynyrd sounds amazing. The funny thing about Skynyrd is, Skynyrd's almost like a cult. The people who go to see Skynyrd shows, they just love Skynyrd. And they go every year, and Skynyrd plays a rip-roaring set, and they're a really strong live act, so I have to give them credit. They're not your typical, I know there's not like a million, original members in the band, but it's like Foreigner. Foreigner is phenomenal. The Foreigner that's touring right now, nobody in the band is from the original lineup with the exception of Mick Jones on guitar. They are unbelievable. Fantastic show. And I know that sounds crazy to say.
No, it doesn't. I'm sure they're great. I'm sure they're all phenomenal musicians in both those bands, and I would take nothing away from them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from a pure marketing standpoint,
right?
It's a bigger selling point.
Yeah.
Especially for an East-West show.
Yeah.
If you have most, if not all, when possible, of the key members.
No, yeah, absolutely.
That's just a fact.
Yeah, no, it's true. But, it's funny, like a band like Skynyrd and a band like Foreigner, okay, I swear to God, it's the name and the catalog. As long as they put on a great show and they play those songs and it's under the banner of Foreigner or Skynyrd, like, people are happy with it. Like, that would never work in Van Halen.
Right. Oh, no, I agree with you. The average fan almost doesn't give a rat's patootie.
Yeah.
Who's playing, who's singing.
Or do they know?
Right, and many times they don't know. Now, of course, when you start getting original members back in the band, especially if it's a singer or a guitarist, then people hear about that, and then they come out of the woodwork.
Right, yeah, absolutely. One thing that happened that, Dave, was very exciting, we've been talking about this for a while, and it actually came to pass, which was the Eat 'em and Smile Band, consisting of Steve Vai on guitar, Billy Sheehan on bass, Greg Bissonette on drums, and Brett Tuggle on keyboards, finally got together and actually finally played some music. It was on January 26th at the Ultimate NAMM Night in Anaheim, California. And they all came together after 33 years they haven't performed together. And if you guys remember, we reported on many podcasts ago how they almost had a reunion several years back at Lucky Strike, but it got shut down by the police and the fire marshal due to overcrowding. And at the time, Dave was involved. Now here, Dave was not at NAMM, and he wasn't involved. However, sitting in on vocals was Jeff Scott Soto, the lead singer of Sons of Apollo, where he plays with Billy Sheehan. So he stepped in on vocals, and he did an admirable job. The band played a cover of Queen's Tie Your Mother Down, and then Sheehan got up to the mic and said the famous line from Yankee Rose video, "Our lips are so close." And surprisingly, the actress who played the sassy African-American lady came out and said her famous line, "Ooh, not if you was the last immigrant grocer on earth, honey." And then she just walked off the stage, which was interesting. The band broke into Shy Boy. Strangely, they had these two female dancers in the front, which I found unnecessary. But they were like left over from the Motley Crue Girls, Girls, Girls routine. I mean, I was like, why do they even have those? I love seeing Sheehan and Vi mix it up, and they had a double solo part there that was really sweet. They ended the song. They did sort of a longer, broke into like a slow jam a little bit. And they had Sheehan and Vi trading licks back and forth. You know, it's amazing that these guys don't use this platform more. This band is obviously really tight, and they sound great together. And Vi and Sheehan are made for each other. I mean, they're like a duo from heaven for a guitarist. And with Bissonette and Tuggle backing them, it just sounds perfect. Jeff Scott Soto was solid. You know, he did a good job. He's not Dave, we all know, but he always does a good job. He's excellent on vocals. He's full of energy, and he presents a nice package up front. That sounds ridiculous. He presents a nice package up front, Dave.
You know what?
Apologize.
I'm just gonna leave that alone, and we're going to move on.
My apologies to Jeff.
I didn't even catch that until you started joking about it. That's pretty funny.
So as it was coming out of my mouth, I'm like, why am I saying that? Okay. So
that's like a Paul Lynde answer from the Hollywood Squares.
He's like, he's got a nice package up front. Yeah, it's so funny. So anyway, Dave, what did you think of this reunion here?
So I loved it. Of course, I agree with you. I think Jeff Scott Soto, great vocalist, did a really good job. And you know you're getting older when you're like, hey, dancing lady, could you please get out of the way? Because I'm trying to watch these two guys do a dueling solo.
Oh, my God.
And actually, when I was thinking that while watching the video, which is available on YouTube, by the way, she actually got down and got out of the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, thank you. But aside from the whole dancing ladies thing, I thought the jam in the middle of Shy Boy was great.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
I really wish they did more. It left me hungry for more because they were really only playing for about 15 minutes.
Not even really.
And yeah, barely. I was just like, oh, come on. And Tie Your Mother Down. They did a great job on that. But I was like, aren't you guys going to do another Eat 'Em and Smile song?
Yeah, I mean,
or maybe a Van Halen song or something. It was a curious choice.
Yeah, it really was. And I didn't quite understand why the hell they didn't play Yankee Rose.
Yeah, I was surprised at that too. But still, like you said, they finally got on stage. They finally played. It was great.
Yeah.
I really hope this sparks something in them. Some kind of tour.
Right.
I do encourage everybody. The video isn't great because the person filming it admittedly was just doing it on his iPhone.
Yeah.
And he was right in front of Billy's speaker.
Yeah.
So it's really bass heavy and it's really tough to hear Steve. Yeah. But I did see somebody by Steve professionally filming in the background.
Oh, okay.
So somebody somewhere, hopefully in the next few days.
Right.
After this podcast comes out, we'll see something professionally filmed and get some really great sound there.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I want to add is, when the lady from the video came out and did her line,
that was bizarre.
I was like, oh my God, is that the lady from the video? Where'd they find her? That's hysterical.
Right.
Best intro to a song ever.
Yeah, but
I was laughing.
Yeah, but how do you intro the song and then not play the song?
Well, you're right. That's true. They did that, and then they went into a different song. That's true. They did go into a different song. I did think that. I don't know what happened there. I don't know who was smoking crack or whatever. But anyway, I'm not going to take away from the fact that we finally got to see them. They played great. I mean, they just click together.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Like you said, it was the first time the four of them, I think, had played
in
together.
33 years.
Yeah, I think the three of them without Brett Tuggle have played together once or twice.
Right.
But Brett there was just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
And, I hope these guys are like, you know what? If Dave doesn't want to do this, maybe we should like go out, do a quick tour somewhere with Jeff on vocals. Because I would be totally there for that.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, I mean, Vi and Sheehan are like made for each other. It's ridiculous.
I know.
They're like a guitar head's dream. Those two.
They are. They just click together. They have the magic.
Yeah.
They just have the magic.
Yeah.
They just click. They got it. I'm always all for those guys doing more together.
Oh, totally. And Greg Bissonet's amazing drummer, fantastic. And they have, you know what it is? There's something about that band. They have a really good energy about them. They really do. There's something about the chemistry between all of them. They have a good energy. How many times have you ever heard anybody talking about a backing band to a solo artist like this?
I mean, it's true.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, Dave found lightning in a bottle twice. I mean, right?
Amazing.
I mean, when does that happen?
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
Right. I mean, I know these guys are all booked from 5 to February.
Yeah, I know.
They all have stuff going on.
Yeah, I know.
And Greg's like, I think he's still doing loads and loads of session work. He might be the worst of all of them.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. He's a
busy
guy.
And, Billy's trying to go for the record of how many bands he can be in.
He's keeping up with Portnoy.
He is keeping up with Portnoy.
He's in 2 bands with Portnoy.
Exactly. Right. He's going for the record. So,
that's true.
And Steve always seems to be doing something.
Oh yeah, he's always busy. Steve is always busy.
Exactly. But I think if these guys can just coordinate their schedules and just do something for like a month or two, hit the major markets.
Right.
Play
Absolutely.
some small places.
Right.
That would be it for me. That would, short of a full-blown Van Halen reunion with the original lineup, that would be my second place request.
I wonder, I guess it might be a little tricky to call themselves the Eat 'em and Smile Band because that might be a copyright issue, right?
I don't know. I don't think they could call themselves like the David Lee Roth Band.
No, obviously not. But I mean, they called them, they introduced them as the Eat 'em and Smile Band.
Yeah, but, right, and you could do that. You could call yourself whatever you want at a show informally. But if they were going to tour formally,
right.
I don't think that's a problem because I remember the guys from Santana reunited without Santana and called themselves Abraxas and put out an album with the band name Abraxas.
Right.
And that was a Santana album.
Right.
Now, I don't know if they toured or whatever, but look, I'm no lawyer. I don't know, but I don't think it's impossible.
Right. So let me also add to this. So I'm in a Facebook group with Billy Sheehan, okay? And people were asking him questions about, hey, was Dave ever involved in this? And this was his response, and I got this morning. It said, Dave wasn't involved in this. He was out of town. The Ultimate Jam people wanted this to happen, so we were happy to give it to them. The best we could with the original lineup. Jeff Scott Soto killed on vocals, and his voice is very much like Dave's from back in the day. Lots of people were happy about tonight's show, and I am glad to say that. Dave was never mentioned as a possibility of doing this show, although we heard from him, and he said he'd love to someday. That's all I know. And, Billy, he's a straight shooter, Billy. He doesn't fool around. Well, who knows? Look, like you said,
I don't know. That's like my mother saying, "We'll see."
Yeah, I know. That's true. That's true. Absolutely. You never know what could happen if Van Halen doesn't go forward, or they decide to part ways, or whatever happens. You might end up seeing Dave hooking up with these guys. You never know.
I'd love to.
We also just wanted to quickly announce that at NAMM, although Eddie did not appear, his new Stripe Series Shark guitar was released. People often refer to it as the Flying V, but it's not a Flying V. It's the guitar that's on the cover of the Women and Children's first album from 1980, and that guitar that has that kind of Dave's got like a hole in it, right? He ripped a hole in the front of it, right? It's got like a...
Yeah, well, he had cut it.
Yeah.
Actually, he really didn't play it that much after he cut it because it didn't sound the same. But before he cut it, I think he was using that album a lot on Van Halen 1.
For recording, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for recording.
Yeah.
I sure hope it doesn't sound as bad as he says it. I hope the new guitar he's putting out doesn't sound as bad as he says it. it did after he cut it.
No,
but
I'm
it
sure.
looks cool.
Yeah, it looks